We've survived the first third of the run, and now here we are at the double jump tree. Let's hit the video. So one difference you might note, if you've watched speedruns of this before, is that often people will skip this cutscene and move out of here blind. That only saves about 5 seconds, so for the beginner tutorial, I'll say let's just skip that trick. If you do want to do it, the method for that skip is to just place a save in front of the double jump tree, activate the tree, and then while you're in the cutscene of picking the tree up, you open up the ability menu, level up the next thing in the blue tree, regroup, and then reload the file, and then you can do the blind movement out. But, like I said, it only saves 5 seconds, so it's not too necessary. Let's go on. I'm placing a save there because we have plenty of energy in this section, and no way to use energy to make ourselves go faster, so you might as well just save, when you can. What the heck. And now we're moving to our first little bit of tricky movement here called the Grotto skip. Now when you're going through learning, I recommend placing a save around now, either a normal one or a debug save, doesn't really matter. And this will let you practice the Grotto skip from a platform that's not yet swinging, because if you fail to skip a few times and get the platform swinging, then it gets progressively harder. So I'm just going to jump up here to this platform, and then I'm going to jump off this wall to the right, and that skips about a minute-long chase sequence with Gumo on the left side of Grotto. So what's the deal with this skip? There's a particular position on this wall that's wall jumpable just high enough so that you can get all the way up to the top. And the height of this is not quite the height of a full jump over. So if you watch this maybe a bit slowly, let's see, let me rewind it and slow things down a bit. Okay, so speed up as I go up this wall a bit, and then get into slow motion. So I'm jumping to the wall. This part's not wall jumpable, so I let myself fall down a bit. There's the wall jumpable part. I wall jump, and now right here, as I double jump, I switch from having held left and jump for the wall jump to holding right and jump for the double jump, and this will let me stay close enough to the wall to get another wall jump up here. And there we go. So once again, get up into position, slow down a little bit. There it is, fall, wall jump, holding left, double jump holding right, and wall jump again. Now don't feel too bad if that takes a little while to get, because it's not an easy trick. People miss it all the time, even top runners and runs. You'll often see a second try before they get it, kind of thing. So it takes some practice to get it down, but after a while you'll find that it's not too bad. It's just at first that jump can seem completely mind-boggling. Alright, so moving on, we have a cutscene skip coming up. The middle of this patch of flowers to my right here is the trigger for a cutscene where Gumo drops a bunch of rocks on our head. And not only is the cutscene longer than the time it takes to reload, it makes the next part really inconvenient, so we would like to skip this cutscene. Now, because we can place a save next to this cutscene, we don't need to use a save anywhere to skip this one. You can just place a save anywhere, kind of touching the edge of this flower patch over to the right of that, and then walk into the cutscene, and then rekindle your save afterwards. And that will allow you to skip the cutscene upon a reload. Now, since I didn't do the skip at the double jump tree, leveling up regroup, I'm just going to level it here instead. So I walk into the cutscene, I open the ability menu, I level up regroup, and then I reload the file. So this is the same effect as walking in and rekindling. And now it would be a good time to take a little bit of a break from the video and talk a bit about wall jumping with double jump in game. So let's take a look at that. Here's a nice spot because we've got a lot of long, mostly flat walls to take a look at. Now, what you've done before having double jump is just jumped up walls like this. This is not the fastest way to go up a wall. You get a burst of speed every time you do a jump, whether it be off of a wall or a double jump in the air. So fitting in double jumps in between your wall jumps is a little bit quicker, and I've been doing this a little bit so far in Grotto, but I just wanted to focus on it now. So there's your kind of, you know, normal wall jumping. And there's double jumps mixed in, which gives you a lot more height in between. So the rhythm to it is about a quarter of a second long wall jump, followed by a double jump after that, and then a wall jump again when you can. And this speeds up your wall jumping. Now, a reason that you would maybe not want to use a double jump is just to set up your position for something specific. So for example here, if I just double jump all the way up, I might, you know, get a bit too high and bonk on this thing. So some mix of just regular wall jumping and mixed double jumps is pretty good. So if I do, you know, just a wall jump normally at the end there, I can make sure my jump over to the left is nice and clean. But that comes with, you know, grinding practice on specific little parts of the run, and you know, not something to worry about too much. The idea for now is probably to just get used to getting your rhythm of wall jump, double jump down, so that you're getting a little bit faster of a wall climb going. Okay, let's continue with the video. Now moving through here, I do a little bit of a tricky jump right there to get around this without crossing the left wall. If you bonk and fall, then it's a little bit tragic. So if you're having a bit of trouble with this, it's better to just cross over and then cross back. It's maybe a second slower, not a big deal. And we're just going to keep heading on up here. I'm going to take a bit of a detour to grab this 100 experience orb, and then we're just going to dash over to this other platform. And I'm going to stop right there, because there is a cutscene, and the trigger for the cutscene is directly in line with that wooden beam just to my left. And it's faster to skip this cutscene with a save and rekindle, like you may have done down below if you'd already spent the ability point earlier. So for that, we'll place a save, we'll walk into the cutscene, and then rekindle the save and reload the file. This one's a little bit trickier than the cutscenes before, because on the prior cutscenes, we're stopped during the cutscene. Now in this cutscene, Ori will walk to the left during it, so that if you don't rekindle soon enough, you'll miss your opportunity to. Now all of that said, this cutscene is not very long, so if you accidentally dash into the cutscene, or you save and then walk too far, you don't get your rekindle off, it's actually not worth it to try to skip the cutscene again. It's better to just watch it and continue, because it's pretty short. It's only barely worth it to reload once. It's not worth it to try to reload twice, so just walk in, rekindle, and reload the file. Now I'm going to jump over a little bit of the slow zone here, doing a jump, double jump as you cross that screen transition. Once you walk up to the water main a bit faster, mash and cancel to get past that cutscene, and now we're just going to jump our way out of Moon Grotto. And we get to enjoy, during this section, a bunch of Gumo cutscenes in reverse. Now, there's a few detours to make. First, we need to activate the Moon Grotto teleporter, so just jumping on it like that is enough to do it. As long as Sign goes into the teleporter, then you're set. I'll just take some intentional damage on that slime that's faster than actually trying to dodge him, and continue on our way up. Now we have plenty of energy still, so it's a good place to place a safety save up here, because these spikes do 3 damage. And then we'll grab that 100, level up, and you probably want the experience from that frog. Now, holding jump on these jump pads lets you skip doing 2 of them and head up here. Here's a little bit of a tricky jump. This is nowhere near as hard as Grotto skip, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But you want to be kind of a little bit down from the top of the wall on the right here, so sliding into position just there would have been better to be just a little bit lower in the first place. And then you're going to do 2 similar sets of inputs right after each other to get up. So it's kind of a long left jump, and then right double jump, and then a really quick left jump into a right jump right away. So you're going wide on the first one and then short on the second one. So let me slow it down a tad and then watch. So hang on. Okay. So left, right, and you're up. And then we'll just watch that at normal speed. And that's just to get that ability cell up there. I don't expect you'll have too much trouble with that if you've managed to struggle your way through Grotto Skip at this point. And now we need another teleporter. One thing to note about this, pulling out the rock here is the fastest way to get this teleporter, but these spinning spike arm things can get in your way. They start moving after you've fallen from the tree that had that ability cell. So it's your movement after that point that matters for these spinning spike thingies. And if you're not fast enough to do what I did here and get on top of the rock before the middle one would hit you, then it's better to just push the rock in. Because you have to wait like another full cycle otherwise. But if you are fast enough to do this, you can get on top of the rock here, and then you can get in over the rock by doing a crouch dash. It shrinks Ori's hitbox a bit, so you're crouching, stuck in as far right as you can go, and then you're dashing. Sometimes it takes a couple tries to get through. I think it takes 2 dashes here, because the rock was not quite pulled out as far as it could have been. So we get in, and like the Grotto teleporter, you just step on the teleporter and then leave, and then continue up to the Ginso tree. Here I damage boost that slime. That damage boost there is remarkably similar to the first damage boost in the game, where I want to get hit by the slime's shot, not his body, so that I don't get knocked away. And the way to not get pushed off the wall is to be holding a wall run all the way up until the point that you get hit. If you've taken damage leading up to this point, or if you're just not comfortable with it, the slime does not take long to kill. He doesn't have very much health, so you could just kill it, but that's how that damage boost is done. Now we're heading up to Ginso. One more cutscene here. Much like the cutscene at the top of the rockfall area back in Grotto, this cutscene is only worth skipping if you get it on the first try. And Ori is running to the right during this cutscene, so it's a little bit harder to get the rekindle off in time. The trigger for the cutscene is right where the flower, or the like kind of taller blade of grass to the right of Ori is. So I place a save just before that, and then I walk into the cutscene and rekindle. You have to kind of be holding the rekindle before you walk into the cutscene for it to work. It takes about, I believe it's about a third of a second for a rekindle to go off. So you have some. You can start it and then start the cutscene, and then the rekindle will finish as you're in the cutscene. So I get it here, and then I reload the file. Once again, it's not worth retrying this skip. If you miss it, just watch the cutscene and then enter Ginso. And this takes us to the Ginso tree, wraps up this section of the video, so I will catch you guys next time.